Hi guys, so I just dropped my son off at school, and before I get on with my day and attempt to be a person, I wanted to jump on here and throw some stuff out there because there is like so much going on. The last 24 hours has been actually insane. So in the Summer Wells case, I made a video yesterday. Was it yesterday? My days are merging together. Where I kind of speculated that one of them, either Dawn or Candus, had maybe started talking and that could be behind the new search. Now, the search went on Monday and Tuesday. So that search went on yesterday as well. And TBI has not announced if anything was found, but it was a 2-day search. And, you know, it seemed to come right on the heels of all of this public stuff with Candus, right? Her talking about how she's having a fight with Dawn and she's not in love with Dawn and all of this. So there's a lot of speculation about if one of them was talking. However, TBI did a press conference yesterday and they said that both parents are no longer cooperating with authorities. So I guess that pretty much nixes my entire video because if they're not cooperating, then clearly they're not talking. And so this makes me really think about Candus's new YouTube channel. Hear me out. I don't know if it's just that, you know, Dawn's away and he was really kind of the public face of the Wells. You know, he did all the talking. He kind of, you know, was always on YouTube and all of this stuff. And she was always in the background. And I think that maybe we mistakenly thought that that was because she was like kind of shy or camera shy or whatever. But now that he's away, she's all over the internet. You know, she's on all these lives, she's on all these YouTube channels, and now she has her own YouTube channel. Now, if you look at her YouTube channel, it's all of these videos of her kids, and a lot of them are set to music. There's one, which I might try to drop the link to. I was actually bawling my eyes out, like, honest to God. I almost was like, oh my God, she's innocent, because look at this video. It's heartbreaking. And it is exactly what you would expect from a grieving mother. It's set to the song You Are the Reason. And it's all these videos of Summer, and it like actually will rip your heart out, throw it on the floor and stomp all over it. It is so beautiful and sad at the same time. But now I'm thinking, is this channel all about, you know, she finally has the freedom to express herself, to be a public voice and face to the story because Dawn's not there? Or is this a way to kind of gather up sympathy from the public, a sense of she must be innocent because, you know, look, she's a grieving mother. Look, you know, she's displaying all these videos and songs of her kids. And because the YouTube channel is pretty much just all about her kids. It's like a tribute to her kids, you know, minus a couple of other videos, including a really strange one of like the helicopter searching or whatever. So now I'm thinking, is this a manipulative move on her part? Does she know the shit is going to hit the fan soon and she's trying to muster up some public support? I don't know. Tell me your thoughts on that, because my head is like swirling and spinning. I just don't even know. With that press conference from the TBI saying that they are no longer cooperating, I don't even know what to think anymore. So that's that. Last night, I released a little blip saying that Trezelle West had been charged in the death of Sincere and Classic, aka Orrin and Orson West. So initially the charges came down on him, but he was not in custody. And there was a lot of confusion about that last night. He was not in custody, but the charges had come down. A couple of hours later, so after most of us had either gone live or put up videos, it came out that Jacqueline had also been charged with the exact same charges. Neither one of them were in custody, but there was an active warrant. Well, I didn't find out until much later when it was confirmed, but it was, I believe, at like 8:18-ish, that both of them were stopped while in their car. Not even their car. It was like a Winnebago, one of those kind of things, like kind of a small one. And there was a report that, and I can't confirm this, but there was a report that prior to them being arrested, that Trezelle had gone into, I believe, like a store, or it said post office, but like a post office wouldn't be open that late. So I'm wondering if it was like in my town, we have a store that has like a mini, like UPS kind of place in there. So I'm not sure, but at any rate, some type of establishment where business is conducted. He allegedly went in there and asked to stay in there or to use their back door to get out. And he said that everybody was following him because he was the adoptive parent of these kids that came up missing. And, he was trying to get away from people that were following him. So this man had overheard this. And when Trezelle and Jackie allegedly went out the back door, he actually followed this little, I'm calling it a Winnebago. I don't know what you would call it. And he followed it, and he posted the license plate and pictures of it. And they were stopped shortly thereafter and arrested on the spot. They're both being held without bail and have court tomorrow. So I can't wait to find out, what kind of evidence the police have, because there's no bodies. There's still no bodies that I know of that have been recovered. I did read something, and I can't confirm it, but I did read something to the effect of them having like 160 pieces of evidence that include both physical evidence as well as digital evidence. So they did numerous searches of their house and their previous home. I think they took out, I can't even remember how many search warrants, but there was a lot. And they interviewed like 80 something people, including themselves, Jackie and Trezelle, their extended family, the biological mother, father, or fathers, and their extended family. So that's where we're at. They will be going to court tomorrow. We will follow that very closely. And yay for some movement in that case, because December was a year that these little boys disappeared. And if you're not familiar with the case, it won't be hard to get information on it, because it was in the news, and it was on YouTube daily for months and months and months and months. These little toddlers, 3 and 4 years old, they disappeared under really weird circumstances. Supposedly the adoptive mother was wrapping Christmas presents. The adoptive father was outside cutting wood for the fireplace. And because she was wrapping gifts, the 2 toddlers were put outside to play on like a little patio thing outside, not an enclosed patio, like actually outside. So like in the yard. It was December, it's California, but that still gets, chilly enough. I'm in Florida. I'm in a hoodie right now. They weren't even in coats, and it was like, 5 o'clock at night. So the sun was already setting. And it was so important that they be outside because she was wrapping Christmas presents. I mean, anybody who has a 3 or 4-year-old knows that you could just go in another room. How many of us have wrapped presents, looking at your bedroom door, like hoping the kids don't open it. And if they do, you're kind of like shutting it, or, throwing something over the gift. You don't shove toddlers outside. Now, he was out there. So I guess, you could say, well, they were out there with him, but allegedly he was going in and out of the house, in and out of the yard. Like, I don't even know. But he said that they wandered out of the yard, and they tried to give, like the Summer Wells case, the abduction theory. But in that case, 2 kids, that's very unlikely that 2 toddlers are going to be abducted at the same exact time. And if they had just wandered away, surely in searches, 1 out of the 2 of them would have been found. They had helicopters, they had ground searches, it went on and on and on. And, it wasn't like the Summer Wells case with all this like difficult terrain. I mean, this is California, so everything's pretty much just like flat. If anything, it's almost like deserty out in Bakersfield where they are. So I wouldn't think that it would be very difficult to search there. And neither one of them have ever been found. And those parents, and I use that term loosely, were very uncooperative, and they were just weird. Like, you could watch them in those early days and you could, like, your heart just sank. You could tell that they had no emotion whatsoever. I mean, at least Dawn and Candus show some kind of, tears or whatever. These people had nothing. Like, they were poker faced. They talked about these kids with absolutely no emotion whatsoever. And I remember when they were talking about the kids, the only way that Trezelle even described them, a missing pair of toddlers that are your children, was rambunctious. So that, you don't have to be a body expert, a body language expert for that to just go, wait a minute, like that's the only way that you can describe them. Not funny, not playful, not affectionate, not smart, not silly, not creative, rambunctious. That's all he had to say about the two of them. So that kind of made you a little like, what's going on here? And then as they continued to talk, and there was zero emotion, and plus their story just sounded ridiculous. And then it came out later that a neighbor had, I think it was a Ring camera that actually caught the gate to the Trezelle's property, and it was very high fence. So these toddlers were not going over the fence. There was only one way in, one way out, like one gate door, and nobody other than Trezelle ever walked in or out of that gate. So then suspicion kind of came to if that was even when the kids actually disappeared, or were they actually missing long before. So I'm hoping that these answers come out. Just like the Wells, now Trezelle and Jackie are going to be separated because they're in jail. They're going to be separated. So this could be the point where somebody may turn on the other one, because it's easy to be ride or die when you're out together, out in the real world. But now you're locked up, and don't think for a second that there won't be, deals put on the table. If you tell us what happened, you might get this much time versus this much time, or, whatever. 2 counts of second-degree murder. I mean, I don't know how much of a deal you could really give them, but I guarantee you one of them is going to be presented with a deal to turn on the other one, and get some information. And like I said, it's easy to be, all about sticking together on the outside, but let's see what happens now that they're, facing the consequences and they're separated and their own life is at stake, because they know they're not going to be together anyway. I mean, there's a men's prison and there's a women's prison. You're not going to be together. So I'm real interested to see what ends up happening there. And keeping my eye on the Wells case today, any more updates, because this is a little weird, these searches, and then TBI announcing that they are no longer cooperating. So I guess my video yesterday was wrong. They're clearly not talking at all. So I'll see you soon. I'll keep you updated. It would be so much easier if I would just go live instead of having to record these things and then upload them, but I don't know how to go live. I'm afraid if I do it, I'm gonna screw it up. I don't know. I guess someday I'm gonna have to just get over my fear, because that would be so much faster and easier. So, all right, bye.